Hello again and welcome to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having an awesome day so far. Awesome start to your week. Rocking out whatever goals, hopes, plans, dreams, ambitions you had and are currently making it happen. Sorry, we are Wednesday today. Holy guacamole. I'm a day behind. This is actually awesome. This is awesome. I just gained a day in my week. Yes. This is actually, today we are doing our first edition, there's a word I'm looking for here, of Wellness Wednesday. And so today, this is actually a new thing that we're going to start, and I'm going to see how it goes, how it takes us, and I think this will be awesome for all parties involved. Quickly, before we get started here, we are officially like 2 or 3 weeks. I think we're 2 weeks away from convention. Oh my goodness, this is such an amazing time to be alive. Oh my goodness, it's actually one of my favorite times of year, if I'm being honest. If you are at all interested in essential oils, living a natural, holistic lifestyle, alternative wellness, anything like in that regard, this is definitely an event you do not want to miss. It's a week-long event, information, education, community event, science behind why the oils work, why you should care, how they work with us, new products, exclusive products, and much more. Like, there's so much more. There's a panel of scientists that are going to talk and debate and tell you how awesome life is and everything. And oh man, it's such an amazing time to be alive. So if it's going to be in person in Utah as well as online. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, or somebody you know of is interested in it, definitely reach out to me. Drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. I haven't got any notification that tickets are sold out, so I imagine that they still have tickets available. So definitely get on it before they run out, right? So yeah. All right. Let me just catch my breath real quick. I'm telling you, convention's such an amazing time, such an amazing event too. It's been last year, did they do it? I don't think they did it in person last year because we've been apart, right, for the last couple of years. So definitely this one's going to be awesome, right? All right. So let's get into today's topic. Today, like I mentioned, is the first edition of Wellness Wednesday. And what I wanted to talk about, we're going to do kind of a series thing on, talking about health and wellness, how to, how to thrive and strive, especially in this time, especially nowadays, right? With the summer months coming to an end. We've got Thanksgiving coming up. We've got Christmas coming up. Pictures are happening. There's still so much more going on to life before the end of the year comes. So for today's first edition, what I wanted to talk about was help with sleep. Talking about tips on how to get to sleep. Not only get to sleep, but also stay sleeping throughout the night, right? That's really one of our problems. That's the problem with sleeping, right? Is it's a two-pronged problem. Either you have trouble falling asleep or you have trouble staying asleep throughout the night. And that's where I wanted to come on and give some tips that sort of help me. Tina and I, we get into a lot of arguments because I can sleep anywhere and I have a very easy time getting to sleep. And she doesn't, right? So for her and I, we're two different people, and it's a real struggle for both of us, right? Because as much as I can get to sleep, if she can't get to sleep, right, that's her, sort of ruining, or not ruining, right, but putting a thorn into my plan of sleeping throughout the night. Not only that, but then she wakes up in the morning and she's groggy, right, or wants to sleep a little bit later when she finally does get to sleep. And so that's where, we got to kind of work in tandem together to help both of us. And so that's where I've got some tips that help me. Hopefully they help you too. Hopefully get some value out of this, right? And who knows, maybe use 1 or 2 of these in your own life and not only get to sleep, but stay sleeping throughout the night. So without further ado, tip number one I've got here is to have a bedtime routine. Really one of the best things that you can do, and that's why I put it as the number one thing, is to have a routine that you put yourself in to get to sleep. Your body, this is one of the cool things that I learned that actually really blew my mind. Our body has so many things that it's doing on a daily basis, right? Think about it. So looking, seeing, digesting, breathing, pumping blood, right? And that's just a handful of things on top of all the other things that is happening in our body. So what happens is our subconscious mind is going to work doing all that stuff. And what it does is it actually puts us into a routine, whether we like it or not, right? Where we are in a routine, we have specific habits that our subconscious brain gives us in order to let us sort of live, right? If we were to have to make every single decision, or if we were to have to consciously think about everything that we're doing every single day, like breathing and chewing and eating and digesting and walking and all sorts of other functions that are happening, right? We would literally go insane. Not only that, but we would not be able to complete them all because there's just so much stuff going on. So that's where our subconscious mind kind of puts us into a default routine, right? Some call it a comfort zone, some call it a routine, some call it, whatever you want to call it. That's what's happening to us. And that happens for a very good reason, because we would literally drive ourselves insane if we had to do everything that we need to get done. So that's where everything, right? In the morning you have a routine before you go to work. In the evening you have some sort of routine when you come home from work. At work you have a routine of what you like to get done, things that you like to get done in a specific order, right? So you always have some sort of routine going on in your life. That's why we need to make ourselves a bedtime routine, right? Not only that, but I mean, this just came to me because of back to school, right? When we were young, when we were children, that was the first thing that our parents did to us, right? They made us get into a bedtime routine. They made us, do all of the things that we need to do in order to wind ourselves down, because that's it, right? We live, especially nowadays, right? We live very, very busy on the go lifestyles. We don't always have time to get everything done that we need to, right? So therefore, some things take a back seat. One of the things is sleep. Another thing normally is nutrition, but that's a topic for another day. Today we're talking about sleep, so this is where we need to understand that we need to give ourselves a power down routine, right? We can't just stop our day and then go to sleep and then wake up the next morning and immediately start and boom, go right into it, right? Or we're not wired like that. Our brains are not wired like that. We need to have some sort of power down period. Nothing more than, a car, right? You need a power down period, or your TV console, right? It needs a power down period before you can restart it back up. That's what you need to think of in terms of your life. You need a power down routine, right? Something that you can go to, and as soon as you start doing it, your brain automatically realizes that you're in power down mode. You want to get ready for bed. It's time to go to sleep soon, right? You're getting ready for that. And as soon as you start that, right, you put the wheels in motion, and obviously your brain is going to give you some pushback. You're stepping into, something that you're not familiar with. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge at the beginning. But eventually, once you get through it, your brain and your body will realize that at a certain point, and that's what you need to do. You need to really focus on having this routine at the same point every day, even on the weekends, right? If you can. And that way your body and your brain will understand that at this specific moment, you are starting your power down mode. It's going to be bedtime soon, and that should help get to sleep and stay asleep throughout the night. Number 2, check your room. This one is really, it's sort of something that gets overlooked, because we need to really be conscious of our room. What that means is temperature, lighting, noise, for example, right? So things that you need in order to fall asleep. For me, if there's a really bright light shining in my face, I don't normally have the best sleep. I would very much appreciate it to be dark and, so that there's no light coming into me. For me, I use one of those eye masks, right? We don't have blackout curtains or nothing like that. So for me, I use an eye mask. It actually works really perfectly. It's just, you put it around your head and it blocks out all of the light. And not only that, but it's a little bit tight. So it kind of closes your eyes to give you that little bit of extra, power behind your sleeping. When you're trying to get to sleep, right? And your eyes are still like wiggling and you can tell that you're not really tired and you're not really falling asleep. So I really like the eye mask. Another thing is to check the temperature, right? For me, I can't sleep if it's hot. If it's hot and sweaty and humid and sticky and gross, no, not for me. That's not for me. I can't do that. But at the same time, if it's an ice box, right, super freezing to where I can't even really feel my fingers, that's not cool for me either. So that's where you got to really understand the temperature of where you like it. For me, I like it to be a little bit cooler. Some people might like it to be a little bit warmer, right? That all depends on your feelings, right? What you think works for you. That's nothing more than, trial and error. If you think you like hot, make your room hot. If it turns out to be a detriment to your sleeping pattern, try the room cold. If the room cold doesn't work, then try that different, a little bit of, warmer or colder, right? Try and make it so that it's bearable for you. Maybe you need to add a blanket or two. Maybe you need to subtract a blanket or two, right? Maybe you need to sleep in a sweater or pants or something like that, right? Maybe you need to sleep naked. It just depends on your style of sleeping, right? How you like the temperature to be. And then the last one that I mentioned was the noise, right? For me, as much as I don't sleep when it's super loud out, they're building a building right across the street from us, right? So there's all sorts of things going on. It's amazing. It's they've got the jackhammers and the drilling and the hammering and all sorts of craziness going on at all sorts of hours in the day. But as much as I can't sleep with all that noise going on, I don't do very well sleeping with a dead silence. So for me, I like to have some sort of fan on, right? The fan for me is kind of a double-edged sword. It gives me that coolness that I'm looking for, as well as that noise that I'm looking for to kind of take my mind off of, that's really what happens a lot of times is when you sleep, your mind starts racing, or when you're trying to get to sleep, your mind starts racing. Everything, that you're thinking about comes to fruition, and there's 474 different things that need to be done at that current moment. That's why I like the little bit of a fan noise, a little bit of a background noise, and so that way I can, it just takes my mind off of what's going on and just gives it into that, trying to fall asleep mode. Check your room, right? Temperature, noise, lighting. Those are 3 things that I can tell you that will be a very big benefit. Try it, right? Let me know. Come back and let me know if that doesn't work for you, right? If darkness is not your thing, right? If you need the loud, Metallica rock music going on and you need noises coming from everywhere, then definitely come back here and tell me that's what helped you, and I would love to hear the story behind that. Number 3, power down. We talked about powering down in the first tip, but this one I literally mean power down. Turn off the phones, turn off the computer, turn off the iPad, the TV, the Xbox, right? All of these devices that we have in front of our face, because they produce that UV light, right? And that UV light, what it does is it actually burns through our retina. What do I have here? I have these cool little glasses just like this that I use, right? Make me look all nice and fancy dancy. But actually these ones are UV lights, so these ones are really cool. I actually suggest a pair of these if you do a lot of in front of device work or looking, right? So definitely try that, because the UV light that comes off of the phone, the iPad, the TV, all that stuff is actually meant, it's not meant to, but it does. It burns our eyes, and it actually can lead, it's not the cause, and it's not the perpetrator, but it can lead to, problems later in life, right? Not being able to see properly, blindness, all sorts of that. It also causes stress, right? Get that little headache right in behind your eyes, right, from focusing for too long. So that's where, and that's really what I'm talking about more than anything, is when we're trying to get to sleep and stay asleep throughout the night, and we've got this bright light right in our face before we're trying to fall asleep. Chances are, I'm not saying that this is the cause, but I'm saying that chances are, there is no certainties in life, there's only probabilities, and the probability behind you not sleeping is because you have a big shining light right in your face from the minute, or up until the minute that you're trying to fall asleep. And another thing too, the worst part is when you have the brightness turned up and you're in your dark room trying to fall asleep, right? You got all the lights off, because then that light is actually extra bright. And that's one of those things where your mother always told you when you were growing up, maybe not you, but she always told me that you can't sit too close to the TV because you'll burn your eyes and you'll end up blind. Well, I mean, who'd have thought, right? Mama was right. Mama's always right. And so that's where, power down. Give yourself like a good 30, 40 minutes. They say, whoever they is, say, about an hour. But that's, you really got to do what works for you. So that's where I say, give yourself at least 30 minutes, right? You want at least 30 minutes. That way it gives your body, your brain, your eyes, your everything a chance to reset and a chance to really power down. Understand that you're trying to shift your focus from whatever's on that screen to something else, and then enter sleep, right? Number 4, essential oils. I actually love using essential oils for this specific reason. Essential oils, what I got here, a blend like Serenity is actually great for promoting that calming, relaxing environment that is perfect for not only falling asleep but staying asleep. So that's where I really enjoy using the oils. We use the diffuser. We also use, we put a couple drops on our pillow at nighttime. Essential oils at the very base of it are volatile aromatic compounds. All that means is that they switch states from a liquid to a gas very quickly. So if you put a drop on your pillow, it will actually absorb into the air or into your pillow, switch states from a liquid to a gas more quickly than it will stain your pillow. So that's actually a really cool benefit right there. Another blend that I've got here, like Balance. Balance is actually the grounding blend from doTERRA. So that's really when you need to ground yourself. That's one that we like to use sort of as like a preemptive strike, but it's also great for using at nighttime if you wanted to ground yourself. This one, Balance, is great to use when you're powering down, right? You've done you've switched off your electronics, you're going through your routine, put some Balance on the bottoms of your feet, and that way you can create that grounding environment, right? That really relaxing peacefulness that you need to get to sleep. Because that's it, right? When I mentioned earlier, we live very busy on-the-go lifestyles, and for us to automatically switch off is real tough. And so that's where we need a little bit of extra help from time to time in order to, create that relaxing environment that is perfect for not only falling asleep, but staying asleep throughout the night. And then my last tip, more than anything, is consider a life coach, right? Life is hard, and, just because you're not sleeping doesn't mean you're not doing things right. A whole plethora of things can lead to not sleeping right. And it can be nothing more than just being too caught up in your head, dealing with the regular pressures and anxieties of life. So consider booking a free consultation with a certified life coach like myself. And who knows, maybe we can tap into some of those issues that are happening and get you back on your way to living the amazing life that you know you can, and having the best night's sleep that you can get. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you enjoyed this. I know I had a lot of fun making it. Feel free to share this with your friends, family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this, that groggy worker that always seems to not get enough sleep. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils, how to get your hands on some of this cool stuff that I'm talking about, booking a free consultation with a certified life coach, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better week ahead, and I look very forward to talking to you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.